When it comes to public speaking, slides are often used as a tool to support your presenting. And presentation slides are fantastic. They're used in business settings, in education, and even in TED Talks. However, when it comes to slides, if done poorly, they can hurt rather than help. We've all experienced death by PowerPoint, slides that are full of text, completely overwhelming and boring. In this video, I'll show you how to create great slides so you avoid death by PowerPoint. Slides are for emphasis, not detail. The point of having presentation slides is to support you as a speaker. They should not be the focus. The most common mistake that I see with presentation slides is that they get filled with all the detail and all the words, where the person may even be reading off the slide itself. What that does is take the attention of the audience member off you, the presenter, and onto the slides that are on the screen. And nothing is more disconnecting than that sort of shift in focus. Remember, it's your emotion and energy that creates change. If you have detailed slides and you force your audience members to continuously look and refer to those slides, then you are going to create an unmemorable talk. We just talked about why it's so important to avoid detailing your slides. So what's the best use of your slides? You should use pictures. The point of using pictures is that it emphasizes the different points in your story to bring humor or to make it memorable. Here are some pictures that you can use to better celebrate what you're trying to share in your story. Personal photos. When you are sharing your personal journey, especially your personal story, a great way to connect with your audience is to share personal photos. Imagine if the audience could see exactly what you looked like in your childhood. If you're speaking about that first car, show them a photo of your first car. If you're sharing about your family, show them a photo of your family. By them being able to see through your eyes what you're talking about, this forms a better connection with your audience. When I like to share my stories, sometimes the best way to connect with the audience and use my slides is to introduce pictures that emphasize the feeling. For example, whenever I share the story of approaching my parents and telling them that I'm going to quit university, I always use a particular picture. Now imagine, I come from a traditional Chinese background and I went to my traditional Chinese parents and told them that I was quitting university. How do you think they reacted? Explosion, right? So what I do is I show a picture of a nuclear mushroom cloud in the background to emphasize the feeling. And a great selection of a picture can also introduce humor. So whenever you can find a great picture that matches the feeling you're trying to convey, make sure you use it in your slides. Memes. We've all seen memes explode across the internet over the years. And the reason why memes are so powerful is because they're little silly photos that represent an idea or a feeling. Memes are powerful because they're considered almost like a subcategory of metaphor. Take, for example, the meme of the skeptical hippo. The skeptical hippo is just a perfect representation of this idea of skepticism. And whenever you want to share how skeptical you felt in a particular story, using a meme like that will get everyone to understand exactly what you're trying to say. So if you can find a great meme that represents the message you're trying to share, make sure you use it in your slides. When it comes to presentation slides, there is room for words. You should save the words for the key messages, the key learnings, the key ideas, and the key takeaways. A great judge of whether the words are useful for your presentation slides is that they are easy to write down, and when they are read by the person, it jogs their memory of the lesson and the story you shared. Save your words for the key messages. Make sure that it's easy to look at. Presentation slides need to follow the rules of aesthetics, of art. It needs to be great to look at. If you've got blurry photos, incorrect fonts, distracting colors, these things take away from the presentation and will distract the audience. If you are going to use presentation slides, please make sure that you give thought to the aesthetics and the design. It is so important if you want to create an engaging presentation. Don't use slides at all. Some of the best presentations I've been to don't use any slides because slides honestly can be distracting. Some other things that you can think about is, for example, using a whiteboard. A whiteboard is great because it allows you to work on ideas real time with your audience, and you don't have to follow the structure set by your presentation. This really forms a better connection, especially that whole idea of creating a dialogue, not a monologue. Another thing that you could think about is bringing something tangible to the presentation itself. Imagine if you're speaking about an item from your childhood and the audience members can actually see it and touch it right there and then. This really forms another connection and bond to the story you're trying to share. And finally, maybe you don't want to do a presentation at all and you can conduct your presentation like an interview. Interviews are great because you have another person there supporting you. Helps with brain fade moments, but it also allows you to prepare the questions and the things you want to share to make sure that you convey everything that you want to give to your audience. All these things are just tools, but remember the most important thing is you. Make sure that you prepare, and if you prepare well, all these tools are secondary.